Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the next episode of the Frisco Report. We got a lot to talk about today. An interesting topic, of course. We are going to go a little bit shorter tonight. I do have something I need to take care of this evening, but we're going to jump right into it, Mike. We're going to talk about the offensive line and where we're going moving forward, and we'll touch on the Browns here for week 4 of the Cowboys schedule, Mike. So, let's get right into it, Mike. What is your gut take on where this offensive line is at right now?
When they made the adjustment for the second half, I got to tell you, it was smart. Kicking Zach Martin out, moving Joe Looney to the right guard, starting our center, Tyler Biadasz right there in the middle. And Brendan Knight, I thought he played good. Connor Williams is struggling. But with that adjustment, I really liked it. Now, if 77 Tyron Smith come back, you can move Brandon Knight, kick him to the right tackle, and I think that's probably the best offensive line right there. And then you can decide whether you want Looney there or if you want Biadasz there centering the ball. What do you think?
Indeed, everybody. It's time to start Tyler Biadasz. It's time, all right? And now the only other thing for me, Mike, I totally agree with everything you say. Now, I want to find out about our third-round pick, Connor McGovern. I don't like Looney at guard. Whenever they kicked him out to left guard to cover when Biadasz came in and Connor Williams' shoe came off, Looney gave up the play there. He looked like crap. This other game at right guard, I wasn't too impressed. He's okay to me. I want to see Connor McGovern. Did they whiff on this pick? Because where was the battle? And then Connor Williams as well, Mike. So it's he's becoming a little bit problematic. That play, to start the half where Dak fumbled the ball, that was Connor Williams. Okay, he couldn't block his guy. The guy swiped the ball from behind Dak Prescott. I know some fans are blaming that on Dak as if he had something to do with the blocking, and it wasn't the case. Connor Williams crapped the bed on that play right out the gate. It hurt us real bad. 14-point swing to end the first half, and then to come around here and get that ball swiped out. 14-point swing there. Connor Williams a big part of that, Mike. So what's your gut? What is your feeling here as far as Connor Williams?
Well, my problem is because we went through some growing pains with Terrence Steele. Connor Williams, he's struggling, but I think he plays better with Tyron Smith beside him. And he probably played better with Travis Frederick beside him too on the other end. But with Connor McGovern, we had the training camp. That they've been looking at Connor McGovern for a while now. Are they sold on what he can do, or is he declining? We talk about, are we getting these looks, but how do we not know that he's already been looked at? That's my problem with McGovern.
Okay, yeah. On McGovern, third-round pick, the blinking light, I'm already talking about the blinking light was a flashing red light. Don't draft this guy. Now, I don't want to jump the gun, but, they were looking at Ronald Leary as a possible addition to the team. So why look outside when you have an in-house third-round pick? So it's kind of alarming. Now, Connor McGovern does get on the field. He was deactivated that first game, but they've brought him on here the last two. And you'll see him on special teams with the field goal team. He's out there, but he looks like he has good size to him. I don't know if it's they just don't like him or what the deal is. You know what I mean? So it's one of those deals where they got to figure out, the future here, and I think you're going to see some changes here. And I think the future is now, Mike. I think you got to go with Tyler Biadasz going forward. He looked good. He looked stout. He's a lot bigger than Looney. They didn't muscle him. Did a great job against Puna Ford. Those defensive tackles for Seattle are pretty hefty, big guys, and Biadasz held up really, really well. He didn't get beat on any play I saw. I really liked what I saw from him. And Brandon Knight is doing a phenomenal job. I won't say he's excellent, but man, I think I'm very impressed with Brandon Knight as a swing tackle and the future for him on this team. Mike, what's your thoughts on Biadasz being the starter and Brandon Knight?
I'm all for it, right? Because I was hearing that the Cowboys weren't even sold on Brandon Knight, and he got that opportunity, and he's running with it, and maybe he changed a couple of coaches' minds. Now, you draft Biadasz, you traded up for him in the fourth round to go get him. You got to start him. You got to give him those reps, and you got to give him those reps quick and fast, because if not, he's going to get swallowed up in the National Football League. And it helped Travis Frederick coming in as a rookie, and it's going to help this guy right here. And he's already out there calling who the mic is. He's communicating with the offensive line. Really good things from our Wisconsin center as a rookie, Joe. As a rookie.
Yeah. That's a big thing. Brandon Knight, what I like about this, if Tyron Smith can come back, I like him at right tackle, and then put Martin back in his natural position. So I think this week coming up, it's going to be the question mark again as far as Tyron Smith, the neck. So, if you don't get Tyron Smith back, you're going to go Brandon Knight again. How do you feel about that right side of the line, from the middle to the right? Who are you starting there?
If Tyron comes back, give me Brandon Knight on the right side, and then kick Zach Martin, the all-pro guard, back into where it needs to be. That would be my right side.
Okay. And if, let's say, Tyron Smith is not ready, who are you going with on the middle and the right side there?
Give me Biadasz, Looney, and Zach Martin. I mean, it worked. It's not going to be perfect, but we're talking about backups playing on the offensive line. They're backups for a reason. It's hard in the National Football League to get all this depth and talent, to back up your starters, right? What they did to start the second half against the Seahawks, give me that offensive line, because they went in, they scored twice, 2 touchdowns, and they kicked a field goal with that offensive line. Now, and shout out to Blake Bell, shout out to Dalton Schultz. They really help block for this line too. And that's a good piece. I mean, that's really going to help you. So I like how the coaching staff was making those adjustments. They didn't wait till the fourth quarter. They're down by 15. They were getting their butt kicked or whatever, and they started making some changes, and it got them back into the game.
Yeah. So, the report was initially people thought that Terrence Steele got benched. It later came out, Jane Slater said that it was not a benching, it was food poisoning and that kind of thing. My question is this staff going to be stubborn and put Terrence Steele in back there, or do they go with the better lineup with Zach Martin on that right tackle? What do you feel they're going to do there? Do you think they're going to put Steele back in there?
They could. They possibly could. And, and it will show if Mike McCarthy's all talk. Because against the Atlanta Falcons, Pam Oliver asked him, what do you think about your offensive line? And he said, it's meh. You know what I mean? And he didn't make no changes. He kept the same offensive line as it is. Terrence Steele tried to fight through this illness that he was dealing with. They took him out. He couldn't do it no more. They did this, and it worked successfully. So we're going to see if Mike McCarthy is really all talk, or if he wants to really win and make the changes that he needs to make those adjustments that he needs to make.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do there with Terrence Steele, because if they do, for whatever reason, bring back Terrence Steele, You got Zach Martin. I still want to go Tyler Biadasz no matter what the lineup is. He, for me, is your starter. Looney, you're done. Thank you very much. Thank you for what you've done. It's the Biadasz show now, baby.
And we talked about this early in the Frisco report about them potentially doing this later on in the season anyway. And so this is no surprise to me. It shouldn't be a surprise to our Frisco report viewers. We told you what was going to happen. I thought it would be a couple more weeks. I didn't think it was going to be week 4 in the National Football League, but it's finally happening. You got to give your young center reps and let him learn through his faults, almost like Trayvon Diggs is doing. And just go out there and hope for the best and coach him well, so you do get the best.
Absolutely, man. I feel that if they go back to what they were doing before, I'm gonna really be questioning Mike McCarthy, and it'll have a Jason Garrett feel to it. So let's hope. I'm confident that Mike McCarthy is gonna go with the best lineup. If Tyron Smith is not ready, I want to see Zach Martin right out there, right tackle. Give him the Larry Allen treatment. Larry Allen, Hall of Fame player for the Cowboys, played all across that line, moved and did well in every single position. Zach Martin is that to me. You can play him anywhere on that line, and he's going to demolish people and do his thing. You know what I mean? So it'll be interesting to see where they're really at with Tyron Smith, Mike. Now, the big question here moving forward, though, for this offensive line, Mike, Lyle Collins, at first it was, it's this. He'll be back after week 3. Then last week, he's not quite ready. He's not going to be ready for week 4. Now you're hearing possible hip surgery. The news on Lyle Collins seems to be getting worse and worse. And then Mike McCarthy, the last thing I heard was it's a significant injury that may require surgery, hip surgery. What's going on there, Mike? What do you think about Lyle Collins?
Yeah, I mean, I want to know how far this hip has been bothering him, because if he came into camp out of shape, which that was some of the reports we heard, it was probably because this hip wouldn't allow him to do the things he needed to do to get in shape. And I really feel like it's on Lyle Collins for not getting that surgery. I think Jerry Jones said it on 105 The Fan. If you get a surgery, a type of surgery in July, there's a chance if your team's in the playoffs, you can come back and help your team in the playoffs. And I think it's a shame, Lyle Collins, if he came into camp out of shape, then I really think that this hip thing has been there probably since last season. And he I don't know what he did. Maybe, they couldn't get him in because of COVID and hospitals or whatever. But I really think Lyle Collins has gotten super lazy on this hip issue. And like Jerry Jones says, the longer it goes, the less optimistic they are.
Yeah, and the Cowboys are handling this, I think, in a different kind of way than before. I mean, they're not giving anything up. Everything now is shrouded in mystery. It used to be just it was Randy Gregory, but I don't know if this is the McCarthy influence where they're not giving out the details on a lot of this stuff, or possibly what's really going on here with him. Was it the supposed car wreck? Is that in the play? Is it being overweight? Coming in grossly overweight and causing the hip issue. So, regardless of how he got to where he's at right now, hip surgery for an offensive lineman is no good, man. It is absolutely not a good thing.
It's definitely not good. I mean, this guy just got the bag. He's a heck of a starter. He had a really good productive year last year. I called him a Pro Bowl snub because I really thought he could go to the Pro Bowl just because of the type of year he has. And he did a complete 180 to me from 19 to 20. And it's a shame where we're at with Lyle Collins.
Yeah. So we'll monitor that situation. I'm hoping that he doesn't require surgery. If he does, that's going to be the talk of next year. And then you're going to go into him rehabbing all the way through, probably missing mini camps and all this other crap. So, I'm not saying it could be a potentially career-ending thing, but we've seen players that don't react well to hip surgery. We're looking at Tyron Crawford. He's stiff out there. We've talked about Tyron Crawford. He's got 2 double hip surgeries, and he's just out there, not doing much. But for your right tackle, you got to have that bend, that leverage. I have to say I'm concerned about it. I would be lying if I said I'm not. So now, Mike, I do feel good about the depth. Looks a little bit better now. It looks like we do have something in Brandon Knight. I call him Doug Free Light, and that might give us some comfort there. He's better than Cam Irvin already. So
absolutely, I agree with that.
So that's one of the good things here about the injury. You're finding out about some of these players, right? So Brandon Knight, man,
and it's huge, spotlight. And it's huge because you want to trust these coaches. Yes, it was limited training camp, but you want to trust these coaches to make the right decision to have some type of valuable depth behind your starters. And like I said, they weren't happy with them, but he won the job. Now he's getting the starter, and I really think he's doing a heck of a job holding down the fork. Is he the best? Will he have slip-ups? Absolutely. I mean, this is really his first career start, for the start of the season, right? So this is where you trust coaching staffs about valuable depth. We can argue all day with Terrence Steele and starting him over Cam Irving, but sometimes experience doesn't necessarily mean anything on an NFL resume because it's a day in, day out grind, and he had a few injuries there and just really didn't help him much. But I don't know. You just got to trust coaching staff when it comes to that valuable depth.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's touch on the Browns game. They are the next opponent here for the Cowboys. So we're gonna get these guys. They've shown the ability to put up some points. Baker Mayfield, Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham. The two-headed running machine there with Nick Chubb, and these guys, the defense, Myles Garrett. Who is he going to go up against? Is it going to be Zach Martin, or is it going to be Brandon Knight or Terrence Steele? So, it's a lot to think about there as far as that goes. But what is your initial thoughts here on the Browns game here as far as our offensive line versus that Browns D line?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they need to take their game plan of using the tight ends to help the line block, using Zeke to chip. And all you got to do is give Dak at least 2.5 seconds. You give Dak 2.5 seconds to throw the ball. Three is a blessing, right? Against this pass rush that the Browns have. 2.5 seconds, 3 is a blessing. All you got to do is find a way to give Dak time. Dak can scramble. Dak's very elusive in that standpoint. But you have to, give him time in that pocket to deliver an accurate, good ball. And, as long as those tight ends are helping, Zeke's helping, I think they'll be fine. And they can double team, Myles Garrett and take care of that aspect of it. But Dak has to get the ball out of his hands fast against this defense.
Yeah, they're definitely going to come after him for sure. But Myles Garrett, that'll be the guy that they're going to have to game plan against. And if I'm McCarthy, depending on like we've talked about here, you got to put your better right tackle there. But they will move him around. If they do put Zach over there and you got Brandon Knight on the left, they will move Myles Garrett and do that matchup. They're not just going to leave him over there, to go all day against Zach Martin. They're going to go put him over there on Brandon Knight. Let's see what he's made of. This could be a really big litmus test and could be a heck of a game, depending on who's out there. If it's Brandon Knight and he holds up against somebody like that, we got something, man. We got something because, man, Myles Garrett is one of the elite young sack artists in this league right now.
And this is going to help, Brandon Knight completely. I mean, you talk about what DeMarcus Ware did for Tyron Smith in his early career. This is the kind of work. If I was Brandon Knight or if I was Terrence Steele, this is the guy I want to go up against. This is where you really evaluate yourself. And, this is where you can evaluate how you watch tape on somebody, and try to dictate what moves Myles Garrett's going to use against you just from watching tape. So, having a guy like him can really benefit guys like Brandon Knight, guys like Terrence Steele.
Absolutely. Now, on the other side of the ball, where the Cowboys have been having the most trouble on defense, giving up points and yards up the wazoo. So, how do you feel about our secondary going up against, these top flight wide receivers? What do you feel is going to go on there?
It's going to be tough. I mean, let's be real. I mean, Odell Beckham plays the Cowboys very well.
Yeah.
And who do we got back? Brandon Carr. You know what I'm saying? Brandon Carr, Odell Beckham, they have a relationship there, and it's not a very good one. But they have to give Trayvon Diggs some help. They're giving the corner Worley a lot of help over the top. That's why he looks decent, dare I say. But you got to give your rookie some help, especially with Odell Beckham, Javaris Landry, and these guys, because it could be a long day for our rookie. He's already beaten himself up on some plays. You really don't want to make your rookie corner have to think every snap, because he's going to get beat. And if he keeps getting beat, with that Julio Wildcat play and some other plays that he's gotten beat on, he's a rookie. He's going to think about those. Pros is always the next play. But you got to give your rookie corner some safety help. And, Damon Thompson or whether it's Xavier Woods, Brandon Carr, give our rookie some help, because you don't want him losing his mental ability of sticking on plays from the past. You want him to move forward, and by doing that, you give him some help.
Yeah, it's going to be a great matchup. Really, we've really thrown Trayvon Diggs to the fire, and to be expected. He's had reps that he's lost, but he's won some reps. I love him in run defense as well, so it's going to be another good game for him. But the safeties, man, that crap's eating us alive. I just don't like them. I don't trust them. So Earl Thomas is still in consideration. The Texans canceled that, so there's all this speculation behind the scenes that maybe there was a call made and he's still in play for the Cowboys. So until this guy is signed with the Cowboys or somebody else, this is going to linger. And as long as the secondary and our safeties keep not looking good, it's going to be a topic of conversation. No doubt about Earl Thomas, Mike.
Unfortunately, it is, and I'm not on the Earl Thomas train. I'm really not. And people are going to get mad at me. I understand it, but I'm just not on the Earl Thomas train. And I haven't been. And I don't see myself jumping on that train. I don't think one player is gonna. Now, you could argue they traded for Amari Cooper, and that elevated Dak and the offense and stuff. But it starts with Jalen Smith, being slow to tackles, hitting the wrong gaps. Earl Thomas can't play two positions. You can't play Jalen Smith's position and his position. There's a lot of errors on this team where I don't think Earl Thomas can't be God and be all 11 players. I just don't see it, how he can really fix. That's why I'm not real big on Earl Thomas. I think if players put more effort into what they're doing and buying into what they're doing, Jalen Smith said, I think last week, Joe, if they simplify the defense, I think that would help us. What are you talking about? You're an NFL pro. Disguises go into what you're doing. And that's Mike Nolan's scheme. I think these guys need to buy in or get out of Dallas. And I don't think Earl Thomas can help that. I think there's a lot of laziness on this defense that Earl Thomas can't fix.
Yeah, no doubt. There's like I said in my previous video, they're gonna have to jettison some of these Garrett guys, because the offense is doing their thing. The defense comes out here and gives up the let up touchdown over and over and over again. I'm sick of it. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of players on defense that are really guilty of just doing the same old thing. You know what I mean? And you said it. For me on Earl Thomas, what I saw in this last game, I'm for it. And that's just my opinion. I feel like you can do better there. Go ahead and do it for now, and see what can happen there, because even the tackling, it hasn't been good from the safeties, and I do feel Earl is better at tackling than some of these other guys. But we'll see what happens there on that there, Mike. But it's going to be a heck of a dogfight, man. I'm looking forward to the game, and we got to start stacking wins here. I don't want to be this win one, lose one crap again, but it's quite possible that this will be what the Cowboys are. I have said that we're kind of in this weird transition rebuild while trying to compete mode. I really honestly still believe that is the case right now. It is early. Maybe the team catches fire and they get on a roll here, but that's what you're going to need from the Cowboys. You got to go on a roll here. You can't be this inconsistent team. You know what I mean?
I do. And I'll give you a fun fact, a fun stat. Are you ready?
Yeah.
The Cowboys are 1-0 when there's fans in the stands. Cowboys got 3 home games in a row, Joe. Can they be 4-0 with the fans in the stands?
Yeah, I'll go for any kind of stat like that at this point, because they're gonna need it, man. They are going to need that.
Most definitely.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's take a look at some questions and comments, guys. Appreciate everybody that has joined live. Make sure you hit like on the video. If you're watching this on the replay, hit like, subscribe, and share. Let's take a look at some questions and comments here. This one had me laughing for a second. I heard Steele crapped himself. No joke. I didn't hear that, but I wouldn't doubt it. If you have food poisoning, I've had food poisoning, and I had it coming out my nose. So that food poisoning will find a way out of your body. So, I wouldn't doubt that, man. I wouldn't doubt that at all. McCarthy's doing what Garrett doesn't, make adjustments. Hope it helps. Yeah. Lavelle, what's up, Joe? We got to revamp the O-line. Martin can do it all. Looney at guard. Tyler Biadasz at center. McGovern at guard. Whatever with our horrible safety play. Yeah, so, I think this is all kind of hinging on what is going on with Tyron Smith. Is he going to be ready? I have a feeling they're going to let him rest out again. I really do. I know what they're saying, but they don't want to give the full cards to the Browns. But my gut instinct is they like what they're seeing from Brandon Knight, and they're going to give him another go. So if that's going to be the case, yeah, man. Martin there. McGovern, though, Mike, like we said, I don't know. We don't know what's going on there. Until we see him out there, we don't know. They're not even giving us any, tidbits from practice. Like, oh, he's in here with first teamers or nothing like that. We're not hearing anything about it. So we'll see, Mike. But, yeah, horrible safety play, Mike. What do you think there?
Yeah, horrible safety play for sure. But again, I tie it to laziness. The leader of the defense literally said, simplify this defense and we'll play better. The leader of the defense said that, Joe. And they got to start buying into what Mike Nolan's doing. Trayvon Diggs is buying in. He's having success. Aldon Smith is buying in. He's having success. Quit with the excuses and go play football. This is what you've been doing your entire life. Yeah. And that goes for Xavier Woods, Darian Thomas. That goes for everybody. Quit being lazy. Buy into what you're being taught and go play ball.
Yeah, it's a crazy thing there. I appreciate you, Lavelle. Appreciate the donation there, man. Can't do this without you, buddy. Let's see what else we got here in the comments, guys. Depth in the secondary. Yeah, we kind of hit on that. Cleveland Brown. Also, Myles Garrett keep his helmet on. I think he will. I don't think he's going to want to go through that again. You know what I mean? That was crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jacinto Estrada, he feels good about our offensive line. Or he feels better, right? He feels better about our offensive line. I do too. I feel that was the right move, putting Zach out. I honestly, I don't want to see Steele out there. I don't, man. I don't. I think he needs more development. He really does. He's not at the level where Brandon Knight is right now. Brandon Knight's got a couple of years under his belt now, Uh, he looks pretty good to me, man. Let's see what else we got in here, guys. If we can't get Earl Thomas, trade a 5th-round pick to get Jeffy back. Oh, man. You guys are funny. That's a good one, man. That's funny. Let's see here. Suit trap. I'm more afraid of the Browns' running game than their passing game. Yeah, the Cowboys have not shown a consistency to stop the run. So I totally agree with you there, Soup Trap. And Nick Chubb is legit, man. He is a really, really good up-and-coming running back, man. And Dontari Poe, I know you guys have seen it. I pointed it out. Look at him. He doesn't take on double teams. He gets out his stance, stands around. There goes the running back. He ain't doing anything, bro.
And that's why Earl Thomas isn't going to fix this defense.
Well, he could help. He could help out.
Laziness. There's laziness.
I've never really liked Poe, man. Like I said, it's name recognition with Poe. He got his little deal there, and he's another Cedric Thornton, man.
Yeah, that's a good comparison.
Didn't cost as much as Thornton, but still, man, I think they whiffed on that guy there. Yeah, Chubb is a beast, man. He's pretty good. Let's see what else we got in here, guys.
What do you think? One more? Two more?
Yeah, we got a couple more here for us real quick. It's time to bench Jalen, start Bernard. You are starting to see more of that. That conversation is starting to swell. It is starting to swell. So fans are literally, little by little, getting off the Jalen bandwagon.
Yeah. There's laziness. You can see it.
Let's see what else I got here, guys. Donnell Jenkins, you would think that all this Earl Thomas talk would make our safeties play lights out. I know that would motivate me. That's a great point, Donnell. That is spot on, man. Yeah, you're right. You're right, bro. Bench Poe. The thing about benching Poe is, and man, you got Antoine Woods behind him, and he's better, but you still got to have a rotation in there. So whenever you get Poe in there, you know that they're gonna be able to muscle around that. And then these guys are getting to the second level again as well. So that's something to keep in mind with the linebackers. They're that's what you want. That's what Poe is supposed to do. He's supposed to take up, these double teams and close those gaps so these linebackers can roam around and do their thing. He's not doing it. He just isn't doing it. There we go, man. There we go. Time to let these players go. Yeah, man, I'm telling you. You got to yank the weeds out, baby. You got to yank the weeds out. It just is, bro. You got to – and it happens with any program, Mike. You don't keep players that weren't working with the administration. You keep your premium guys, Zeke, Dak, Zach. It's mainly the defense that's really, hurting this team right now. And they can just make some tweaks there, Mike. I think we'll be in better shape, man.
I think you're right, Joe.
Is Jordan Lewis a better fit on the outside until Cheeto's back? I think he needs I think he needs to knock off some more rust, man. He's still making some sloppy plays back there.
Yep.
Yeah. Maybe another game or two to settle down.
Too many flags that he's getting thrown on him too.
Oh yeah, we had way too many penalties in that game. Way too many penalties from him. Yeah, Poe is charming. Donovan Wilson, number 37. Yeah, man, I wouldn't mind taking a look at him. If
right.
That might be something that they have to do at the halftime adjustment. If these guys are getting beat up and burnt there, make that change, man. Make that change. But no, that's it, guys. Going a little short. Like I said, I have something here that I have to run and do real quick. We do appreciate you guys checking out the Frisco Report. Great conversation about the offensive line and the future of the line here. We got some concerns, but you do have some bright spots, man. You gotta like what you see in Brendan Knight, and you gotta love what you're seeing in Tyler Biadasz. So there is some light at the end of the tunnel there on the offensive line. I think we'll be okay there. Defense, on the other hand, well, we'll see. That's a TBD, to be determined, baby. To be determined on defense. But that's all we have right now, guys. I will be back, later in the week, obviously. And I plan on going a little bit live for the game. I think like the fourth quarter, I'll jump on live. Make sure you guys join us. Mike, let everybody know where they can find you before we head out this evening.
Yeah, Cowboys Corner right here on YouTube. _ Cowboys Corner on YouTube. Joe has it right there for you. Right there. And follow me. I'll follow back. Shoot me a DM. That's where the conversation starts, guys. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, man. We appreciate all you guys. And shout out to all my members. Shout out to everybody that has watched live. Catch it on replay. Hit like on your way out. And we'll catch you for the next one. Peace out, everybody.